And I'll let you in on a little secret. If I was starting from scratch, I would purely focus. Now within my agency, we avoid doing. Hey guys, I'm Jess, and in this video, we're gonna run through the best services to offer in 2024 as you try to scale to a six-figure digital agency. Now, there's three clear categories basically when it comes to deliverables and what you can offer your clients. 1, websites, 2, branding, and 3, content creation / animation. Now, each of these have their pros and cons. We're gonna run through that in this video. So we'll start with content creation. Unfortunately, one of the biggest cons of content creation is that it's actually limited by the gear and experience you have. You either need top of the range computers to do video editing with After Effects and Premiere Pro. You need top of the range camera gear to record in high quality. And it's a lot harder to offer those deliverables and scale effectively because you can't really outsource them, primarily because you can't send gigabytes and gigabytes of video offshore very easily, and it makes it a lot slower when it comes to editing. So you're kind of locked basically into a local geographical area where you can give someone a hard drive. It's very hard to scale video and content creation. Now there's ways to do it, but in my personal experience building my six-figure digital agency, we did offer content creation, we still do occasionally, but it's impossible for us in the way we operate to actually outsource and scale that side of the business. Now, when it comes to websites or branding, you have two options essentially. Websites allow for more horizontal expansion, higher profit margins, and easier outsourcing, whereas branding allows you to on-sell and on-sell repetitively. Now, we'll focus on the branding side of things. So there's a few different deliverables that you can actually offer when it comes to branding. And I like to group it as identity, such as your logo, color palette, brand style guidelines, packaging, web content, social media content, newsletter content, packaging, any other deliverables such as print collateral, online collateral, email signatures, all of that. Now within my agency, we avoid doing just logos, personally because I dislike doing logos and it's not as effective or high value for us to just only offer logos. We need to offer the whole suite of everything essentially. So to give you some insight, my agency offers a full branding suite where we include everything: email signature, website headers, advertising content, brand sheet. Now we do have different packages around it. We have a small brand sheet, which is a singular page that has all their information such as their fonts, their colors. And then we have a larger package that allows us to go deep into the brand and everything about the brand. So that's multiple pages. We're talking 20, 30 pages. Now, branding is great, but it also requires a lot more creativity, and unfortunately not everyone's great at branding. I'm not the best at doing logos. I have my team who's good at logos, but personally I'm not. So we really stray away from the branding side of things just because it's so much harder to deliver high consistency work repetitively. And that's because we have primarily focused on the website side of deliverables. This is our bread and butter and our biggest core component of the offering for our clients. And the reason behind this is with websites, you can horizontally expand. So most website builders such as Squarespace, Wix, Framer, WordPress, Shopify, they all kind of follow a similar framework. And once you kind of understand that, you can basically branch out across from it. And another really valuable reason why we focus on websites and why I would recommend on this in 2024, and why I would recommend actually offering this as a primary service to your clients in 2024 is because and the main reason behind why I would recommend you focus on websites and web development when it comes to what you're going to offer your clients in 2024 as you try to scale to a six-figure agency is that there's many benefits behind it. You can use ChatGPT and AI to help with code, so you don't need a full stack development team anymore. There's a lot of these websites and website builders that have referral programs, which I'll run through as well. Upsell services, plugins and themes. It's a lot easier in this day and age. You don't actually have to sit there and develop the whole website. Obviously, case by case, sometimes you do need to do this, but majority of the time you actually don't. So for example, with Shopify, if you're part of Shopify Partners, which you can sign up to for free, I'll put a link below. Essentially, you get 10 to 20% of the referral of your client's monthly plan from their Shopify. So for example, if you have a client on the Shopify Plus, which is $2,000 a month US, you get 10 to 20% of that depending on your system and how you've got it set up essentially. And now this is monthly reoccurring while your client still stays on the Shopify platform. And if you build this out, so for example, we have 50, 60 clients on the Shopify platform that we get referrals from every single month. So in a way, this is just passive income after we've delivered the website. It also allows you to log in easier to all of your client sites, monitor them, update them. And then on the Shopify framework, they have a bunch of pre-made apps that make it so much easier to add functionality such as bundles, subscriptions, everything like that. And then on top of that, you've got the custom themes. Now the 2.0 themes are literally drag and drop. Say you want a gallery, you can just drag and drop it straight into your theme. One of the main pillars of the website side of things that we offer that I would highly suggest is a basic understanding of CSS. I personally am not a full stack developer. We have a full stack development team within the agency, but majority of the customizations that we're doing on the Shopify stores are built within the 2-point themes that we're using or custom CSS. It's literally just a mixture of that. It makes it a lot easier, which means you can increase profitability because your costs are quite low because you're using the same system each time. Now on the WordPress side of things, sure, there's no referral system, but if you're smart and you can scale properly, you can bring on your own dedicated server. So we host our own SaaS platform, probably 20, 30, maybe even 40 clients on our WordPress server. I actually don't know, we don't look at it very often, but essentially we, instead of charging like a Shopify subscription, we charge a hosting subscription to our client, which again, in a way, is repetitive passive income because once the site's launched, every month they get charged and it just trickles straight into our bank account. Now on the WordPress side, if you use a bunch of different themes, you're able to use the same theme across multiple sites. So for example, to give you some insight, we use the same theme across all of our client sites because it's a multi-use theme that has a bunch of sections and information and different settings so you can completely customize it. So for example, we're using that same theme. We host our own website, we host a science client's website, we host an art house website, we host a dairy company, a cafe. We host as many different websites as we can on the same system and same theme, and that's because all I have to do is train my team once on how to use the theme and then they can use it the same time every single time after that. So it allows for increased profitability, less teaching, the team know exactly what they need to do. It makes it just a lot easier, which allows us to scale and do multiple projects at once, especially because we have the design and development team. Now, we tend to really only offer the website and the branding side of things because my design team, who are offshore, can design the UI UX of the website, but they also can do packaging. So the way that we have it set up is essentially the design phase happens and then the client approves it, and then from there our build team starts straight away. So we can have 5 to 10 websites going on at once, whereas compared to content creation, you can only edit one project at one time with one team member. Now you could say, let's just scale that and have 10 team members, for example, but then you run into the issue of the offshore video hosting, as well as it's a lot harder to become a good video editor versus a good website builder. And the thing about all of these website platforms, Shopify, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, they all offer referral programs. They all have apps to upsell and add on to increase functionality. But most importantly, they have documentation, which allows you a step-by-step of everything that you basically need to do, unless it's super custom. And this is great because you can literally just give it to one of your offshore team members or learn it yourself and then record processes and steps on how to do it yourself for each project. Now, another great thing about the website deliverables is we have a tagline at the bottom, built by my agency. So every time a client, we launch a site, it has down the bottom, built by our agency, which helps funnel more traffic to our website and increase our clients as well. So I built my 6-figure agency with zero marketing, zero ad spend, all based on referral and networking, purely because of things like the tagline, as well as our own software and processes and systems that we'll cover in another video that really help us upsell. Now, another reason why I'd really suggest websites is because you can upsell. You can upsell EDMs in newsletters such as OmniSend and MailChimp, which also give you an affiliate kickback and a referral kickback. Or you can add subscription functionality, which also you can charge on there as well. The reason why we basically only do websites, about 90% of our billable work is websites, is because it's drag and drop. It's almost like Lego. You have the core fundamental, and then you can add subscriptions, email marketing, product upsells, bundles. It just keeps stacking and stacking, and it's very easy to actually do that. And then also, on the tail end of that, it allows for, it's not as hard to get into. You don't need a high-spec computer. You don't need a high-spec camera. All you need is time to sit down and figure out how to build each component. It just keeps stacking and stacking, and it's very easy to actually do that. And then also, on the tail end of that, it's not as hard to get into. You don't need a high-spec computer. You don't need a high-spec camera. All you need is time to sit down and figure out how to build each component. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The best part about doing websites compared to these other avenues we've talked about is the fact that you can outsource every single part of it, or just specific parts. So say you can't design. There are hundreds of thousands of designers out there that specialize in UI UX that can design the whole website for you, and then you just build it. Or alternatively, you can design it yourself and then get someone to build it for you, or you can do the whole process yourself. Now, I would personally recommend learning how to do each step of the way so you can teach and scale once you are at that point, but it allows for so much more flexibility. Whereas with branding, you need to speak to the client, understand the vision, and then facilitate that or teach a design team exactly what they need to do. You need to do lots of research. Whereas websites, it's very easy to create a mood board. It's very easy to find developers. It's very easy to find builders. It's very easy to learn how to do it yourself. You could literally build a Shopify site in an hour or two if you watch documentation, you buy a 2.0 theme. It's just a lot easier and the path of least resistance to selling clients, because we're now in a stage where e-commerce is massive, dropshipping is massive, and it's going to continue. It's not going to go anywhere. More people are spending money online now than they ever have before. So it's the easiest thing to actually sell on your way to building a six-figure agency. Now, I'm going to add some resources down the bottom that'll help you with that. But essentially, if I was starting from scratch, I would purely focus on websites, purely focus on Shopify, and then WordPress from there. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or want to know any more information, and I'll drop a school link soon so that we can start building out a community that can help each other, and I can help you guys as well.